Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, continuing Morphonomical Week, and that means today we are going to be reviewing the blue Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, Billy. Take a look at this Billy boy right here. Now, a little bit of information about Billy. Billy was given the blue Triceratops Dino Coin from Zordon and became the first Blue Ranger, the blue Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. And Billy is probably one of the longest lasting Power Rangers, second only to Tommy. He was in there from the very beginning and lasted almost all the way through Zeo. He's also probably the most evolved and changed character, starting off as this complete, utter geek, brainiac that can barely hold his own in a fight, and turning into this very confident, almost leader-like individual. But we'll get into that in a bit. Billy, like I said, joined the team at the very beginning. He was one of the original 5. And he was definitely, how should I say, considered the brains of the group. Billy is a very smart individual, but you can also tell that he was very shy, very awkward around people. He really didn't have many friends, except for the core Ranger group themselves. He was picked on constantly by Bulk and Skull. And to show how he even kind of was a little bit more awkward in the group of the Rangers, he would use lingo that only Trini could understand. He wasn't that good of a martial artist. He was probably the worst martial artist out of the team. In the beginning of the show, he just enrolled into Jason's martial arts program and was a white belt. Which I found kind of funny, that he could barely throw a punch and block and all this jazz, but when he morphs into the Blue Ranger, he's a martial arts master. Then again, that goes back to that when you morph, you get all these abilities instantly. These Power Ranger-like abilities. So Billy joins the team from the very beginning, and he's very much the brains of the group. Billy helped out the team almost more than anyone else. Inside being a Ranger and outside. Probably more so being outside of a Ranger, because he's the one that would create these inventions and these machineries and help out at the command center, and he would really be very helpful in very, very dire situations. So Billy was very, very helpful, not only as a Ranger, but also as a team player. Like I said, he started off as kind of a geek, and very, uncharismatic and really not that, very shy, but eventually he becomes a very confident individual, almost a leader of sorts. He gets rid of the glasses. I don't know if that did it for him. I mean, it helped Superman out, but yeah, Billy really starts to evolve into this more confident, more leader-like individual. Billy stays with the group, and he goes through all of its transitions from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to the Ninja Power Rangers, and eventually, once the Zeo Crystals were found, he relinquished the role of being a Power Ranger and became more of a standby assistant at the command center. He would help the Rangers out in the command center, coordinating them, telling them what needs to be done. It was hinted that he was supposed to be the Gold Ranger. However, this was just a way of detracting fans from Jason actually being the Gold Ranger. But yeah, so Billy never becomes anything other than the Blue Ranger, although he stays with the Rangers through their whole entire tenure in the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger era. Billy's last scene, when he starts to progressively get older and older, and he eventually had to live on Aquadar with the Aquadar Rangers. He's never seen again. This is because the actor left the show, but that's the last we see of Billy, and he's not shown up at all again. Definitely one of the most likable characters of the show. Maybe not in the early going, but he really changes. He really evolves. You can't help but like Billy. There's very few people I know that hate Billy. Onto powers and ability-wise. Billy gets all the standard strength, durability, and speed upgrades that come with being a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. In addition to that, he has his standard Ranger blaster/blade weapon, as seen here. And he holds it as well as Zack does, figure-wise. He also has his Power Lance, which is this long lance that has blades at the end of each end. And usually it's mainly as a staff or a lance. He can separate them, but he only does that when he makes the big power weapon that they make. So he has the Power Lance. In addition to that, he also had the Ninja Ranger power, which was a transition between, normal human and Power Ranger mode, where he has this ninja cloak and he can fight and be a little bit more powerful than a normal human. He also had the metallic armor, which is a power that they got closer to the end of the Mighty Morphin era, which his armor would get all glowy and he would be more powerful than his normal Ranger self. Which the metallic armor, for what it was worth, was actually kind of cool. It looked a little silly, but it was actually kind of cool. Billy is he's not that good of a martial artist in the beginning. He really isn't. He's the worst martial artist out of the bunch. I mean, when you're worse than Kimberly as a martial artist, that's something to say about you. However, towards Season 3, he actually becomes a very good fighter. Not quite as good as, say, the other Rangers, but he can hold his own very well. So, Billy becomes a pretty good fighter. He has commands over the Triceratops Dinozord, the Unicorn Thunderzord, the Wolf Ninja Zord, and even the Shogun Ninja Zord. I hope that's the right term for it. The Shogun Ninja Zord? Shogun Zord. The Shogun Zords really didn't matter to me, although they were kind of cool, but yeah. Anyway, so Billy had probably control over the most variety of Zords during the Mighty Morphin era, along with Tommy, because Tommy had like 4 sets of Zords also, so Billy had a wide variety of Zords. But that's about all Billy had, because like I said, he was only the Blue Ranger. So with that said, that's Billy's powers and ability-wise. He's also a very smart individual. I said this before. Very intelligent, helps out the Rangers a lot outside of Ranger combat. So with that said, take a look at this bad boy right here. Billy has he has the same exact body as Zach and Jason does, which is a muscular body that's not too muscular, but muscular enough that it looks good. I mean, obviously, in the show, the Rangers weren't overly muscular, but it's nice to have a little unrealism in the bodies. Nothing like the 15th anniversary Red Ranger figures that were just ridiculously muscular. Like I said before, he holds his blaster fairly well, probably just as well as Zach does, and maybe a little better than Jason, which is kind of funny because they have all the same bodies, but for some reason my Jason figure doesn't hold the gun that well. So he holds the gun fairly well. His power lance. Now, this is one complaint I do have about Billy. The power lance is probably the worst out of the accessories in all the Rangers. As you can see, first of all, it bends so easily, so you gotta be careful with this thing. But right there, he has a little nudge there, and that's the only place where you can really hold the power lance well. He can't hold it in 2 hands. However, you gotta be careful. You gotta plant it the right way, and you just have to really be careful not to bend it, because that's what I did, and my power lance got bent a bit. It doesn't look as bad now, but you just gotta be careful. But he holds the power lance, and it's a little bit of disappointment because despite the fact Billy looks like such a great figure, he doesn't hold his accessories as well. So if you wanted to compare him to Zach and Jason, because they have pretty much the same body, he's definitely the weakest out of them when it comes down to accessories. He has the standard articulation of the Rangers, the 2010 figures. Arms go up, turns at the forearm, bends at the elbow, moves at the shoulder, legs go out, turn at the calf muscle or the boot, and bend at the knee. And his head can turn around. So a fairly decent amount of articulation for a figure's size. Obviously not that of, say, the G.I. Joe figures, but more so than these boys right here. So pretty good articulation for what it's worth, and I'm pretty satisfied. So take a look at Billy. On a whole, it's worth noting, he actually holds his blaster the best inside his belt. It actually goes in there nice and snugly. You don't have to force it at all. It really is a good fit, but it's not loose. So on a whole, Billy is a figure. I've always liked the Blue Ranger a lot. What I have to say about this figure is the body is great. Again, it's the same as Zach and Jason, so it has a good mold to the body. The only really complaint I can ever have with the Blue Ranger 2010 figure is just the accessories. You know, the power lance was such a cool weapon. It really is. And it's detailed too, because you can see the Triceratops in there. You know, it just looks great, but he holds it really bad, so I think it takes away from the figure. I mean, you have to have it on that one little nud. So, my biggest complaint with this figure is probably just the accessories. Other than the accessories, it's a great figure. It's a good-looking figure, as with all the 2010 figures. If I had to say, I would say Billy, though, would have to be one of the last figures I had to pick up, because I would get some of the better figures beforehand, or some of the rarer figures. Billy's not that rare, at least by my standards, because I've seen him at Walmart, and I've seen him at Toys R Us. The only place I haven't seen him at yet is Target. So, Billy's not that rare compared to, say, the yellow and the pink Ranger, but if you see him, I do recommend picking him up. However, if you're tight on money, then you probably wouldn't want to pick some of the other Rangers up first. And like always, he comes with these weird, odd, different accessories, which, you know, can be placed in different areas. So, like I said, I'm not going to get into them that much. But on the whole, Billy, great character. Pretty good figure. Not the best, but still, I do recommend picking it up. It would be an added addition to your Ranger team. So with that said, until tomorrow, where I continue more Phenomenal Week, this is Andrew saying peace out for now.